Hi everybody, this is our first chapter 1 video over variables and expressions. So we have 4 important vocabulary words here. Okay, variable probably sounds pretty familiar. Okay, that's just a letter or a symbol that we use to represent a value that can change. A constant is a value that does not change, so that's just going to be a number. And then we have 2 types of expressions that we're going to talk about here. So a numerical expression only contains constants and operations. So an example of that might be 2 plus 3. An algebraic expression can contain numbers, operations, and variables. So that might look something like 2x minus 3y. Now, a lot of times we're going to be given algebraic expressions and we need to know how to talk about them. Okay, how we can talk to each other about them, what the expressions are actually telling us. So a lot of times we'll take those expressions and try to turn it into words, either verbally or written down. Now, in this picture here, you can see our 4 operations that we use a lot, and some of the key words that indicate that we're using that operation. So for A, I have x plus 3. That's one way that I could say that expression out loud. Okay, but another way that I could say it is I could say the sum of x and 3. That would mean the exact same thing. Okay, either one of those that I have written down there would mean x plus 3, which is the expression that we have written above. So we can do the same thing for part B here. Okay, the first way I see it is 2 times y. But another way that we could write this same thing would be to say the product of x, not x, of 2 and y. So that's just taking an expression, an algebraic expression, and writing it in words. Now let's go the opposite direction. Let's start with some words here, and let's translate that to an algebraic expression. So it says, Eve reads 25 pages per hour. Write an expression for the number of pages she reads in H hours. Now here's a really important thing. If your word problem tells you to use a specific variable to represent something, make sure you use that variable. So we're going to use H to represent the number of hours that she reads. Now, she reads 25 pages per hour. This tells us that we're going to use multiplication. So she reads 25 pages per hour, and we said that we're going to use H to represent the number of hours. Okay, and this makes sense. If you think about it, if she reads for 1 hour, we would plug in 1 for H. 25 times 1 is 25, so that means she's read 25 pages. Okay, she reads for 2 hours. We would do 25 times 2, which gives us 50, meaning she's read 50 pages in 2 hours. Now, when we plug in numbers for variables like that, we call it evaluating. So to evaluate an algebraic expression, we're going to do what I just did. We're going to take values for whatever variables we have. We're going to substitute or plug those values in to the expression and then simplify. So you'll see here that we are given a value for x, y, and z. For my first expression here, I have just x plus y. So I'm going to take the x value of 8, the y value of 5, and substitute those into my expression. Okay, to simplify this, we just have to add, and we get 13. For our second expression, y divided by z, again, I'm going to take 5 and substitute it in for y, and then I'm going to take 4 and substitute it in for z. Okay, now this time we could do 5 divided by 4 and get 1.25, but I prefer to leave things as fractions. So this is going to be our answer here. So evaluating an algebraic expression just means you're taking the values for those variables, you're plugging them into the expression, and simplifying. All right, everybody, that is going to wrap up our first video of Chapter 1. I hope you have a wonderful day.